Times. I'm in the booth straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent Daily Planet, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut, rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Okay. That's the man. This is tough to see. I gotta see this every week. I gotta go looking into my jewel cases. Look at this. It's like having a cracked windshield. See that? That's painful. God. Anyway, it's somewhere back there. I got them. Okay. So I asked for the sale with Abraham. He doesn't have a CD player. Actually, I didn't do that. I didn't ask for a sale because he didn't have a CD player. But I followed up Tom with Abraham. Thank you. So he doesn't have a CD player. So no CDs were sold, but he did check out my Reformation music video and gave a thumbs up. He said he liked it. That video is up to 119 views now, which is approaching the Beta Bread, which you will notice has Tom. I put that up there. He's got. We're putting these out one by one. I hope I better remember to do it today. So I'm gonna put this here since I'm thinking about it. Okay. Oh, and so I'll get this out of my line of sight. All right. No good. No good at all. All right. So no sale was made, but I did talk to him. Don't like sunsets much, so I did a little research at the Little Red Hen with Tom. That was good. Thank you. They just started singing, and I had to leave. We didn't end up spending money. That was cool. Just got to see what's going on. I talked to. Well, I'll get to that in a moment. Actually, I guess it's kind of related, but not exactly. Let me think about where it would be relevant. I think I can talk about it later. Okay, so nothing new there. You will be glorified. It's going to be a week plus before I see my cousin, so nothing new there. I think I mentioned, maybe I didn't. My daughter wants to sing next year at her Christmas play. That's good. Is there a plan in place to help her do that? There's not. Has anything else been said about it? Not really. So that's at least a start. Okay, so YouTube channel, Mike Dynamic, hashtag. Oh, I didn't put that in my hashtag for Instagram, but I put other stuff. So I could spend some time on this today. A lot going on in this category. For starters, okay, so let's go back in time. YouTube channel was created because it was a potential way to get my name out, maybe a funding mechanism for a future album, which I guess it's not an exact category. I don't know if I should even put that there. Number 9 kind of talks about that, but that's a little indirect. Realistically, it could be here, a second album comes after the first album. But so if we go back, if we rewind, there was a discussion before having the YouTube channel about having a Patreon channel, I guess it would be called. Patreon is a fundraising. I think it's a GoFundMe for musicians, artists type of thing, possibly. People want to support your efforts. And so Tom let me know that. So it was suggested to me at church that I go get a GoFundMe to get my next album going. But when I brought this up before to JE, he suggested Patreon, and I brought this up to Tom, and he sees Patreon a lot with music people. So that means Hiro, who brought up the GoFundMe, I go back to him. It's just a way to stall, probably. Because it's also suggested I get a TikTok going. Oh, God. So I thought I want to do that. I guess I can do YouTube Shorts too, but it's just enough for me to get this Instagram thing done. It's like, dog, look what time I'm doing this video. Don't you think I wanted to do this at like 5 or 6 or 7? So it's pretty much booked all day. So yeah, TikTok, yeah, Patreon, yeah, yep. I was talking to someone. I could mention this now. I guess her goal is she's done some work as a personal assistant, which is maybe a mobile receptionist. I'd sure love to have that. Maybe, hey, how can we, what it means to be a personal assistant? Can you be my personal assistant as an intern for free? And then when we make the big bucks, you'll get part of the big bucks. Anyway, it's like I said, it's a lot, The Instagram has been interesting. So my absolute worst video of 11 posts, I did my 12th today, was my last week's one. And I don't know why. Is it the thumbnail? Because it doesn't seem like, my daughter's saying they don't really go off thumbnails. You just scroll through. There isn't a thumbnail that affects it. I don't know what it was, but it never caught at all, and only got 7 views. So I don't know. Maybe of the 7 views, they didn't watch it more than 2 seconds, and so that blocked it from getting more, getting linked into other algorithms. I don't know. But the one before has been my number 2 video. It's up to like 257 views. I've got this past week, I think 4 likes on it, 3 of whom are from the Middle East somewhere. It's have Arabic somehow. Made a mistake of asking my new friend from church who's Persian I know how it worked. I thought all the Quran or whatever is in Arabic, so I figured don't you all need to know Arabic? But anyway, he said he knows Persian. So that didn't work. But I might have a lead on this. I can go around. I was talking at length with the person who knows someone who speaks Arabic as well as personal assists in the past and possibly in the future. So that's what I'll say with that. It becomes a lot. So my friend at church Hiro said, why? Because I got to thank Dr. Jack, not Dr. Jack Ramsey from back in the day in the basketball. I'm sure he's not around anymore. He's old. But Dr. Jack from church, who's also up there in years, gave me in advance seed money, $40 for the next album. I mentioned other things, but he wasn't thinking about it. He wants to hear something. Okay, and he does nothing online. I have Sonia, also Greenwood Post Office, for sure, doesn't do anything online. So there are people, they're older, I would say, but very supportive, maybe more so than almost anybody else, but they don't do anything online, which kudos to them. So I thought I could put that. Someone else from church passed me a gift, but that had to do with my work and footwear, and she left it up to me what I want to do with that. So I could put that money towards this album too. Seed money. That would be. I thought about that today. I hadn't actually thought about doing that, and that was $100. I'll just tell you. We take those two together, that's $140 towards the next album, just to get the ball rolling. So maybe I'll just isolate that strictly for the next album. And like I did, like Hero was saying, you got to have some kind of goal. And he suggested for the GoFundMe, why are you messing around 2,500, 25,000? You're going to fly to my next album. I don't know if I made a secret. I told him, I could say, would be called, gosh, can you hear over that? Would be called Alumni Sucker Free University. And the Sucker Free University is really Hillsdale College, and I would want to engage them and talk to them about doing a video there and maybe promoting the school with the song, I guess. It's actually an album, right? It's a concept. What's the concept of your album? Well, okay. But anyway, Sucker Free, that would be the best place to do that because they're the least suckered because they're getting no government money, right? They're getting the straight scoop. Them in Grove City College. So they're not compromised, so I guess they're not being suckered. Because if you're taking government money, you got to take government education too, right? Even if you're a Christian college, but you got government money coming in. So you're going to have to play by some, there's a, there's a quid pro quo happening. Okay, so, I think that covers that. Like I said, I think I had numerous conversations, pretty much all at church, and what I can do. And mine's been very helpful. Her YouTube channel, she just has a youngster now, but newborn, pretty young. So she's had to step away from the hours of work she put into her YouTube channel, much more so than I put in, right? Like she puts out a quality video. It's really, I'm very impressed by it. And I don't even know, because I guess she got ideas off YouTube or something else, but it's completely impressive. And it's maintained viewership without her putting out any work. So now it's like, okay, if I get back to it, then we can get to monetize that. The problem is the amount of time it takes away from her raising her child. So trade time for dollars here, but we only got to pay a price in the front end, even if you want to build a revenue stream, right? So she can see it. It's just the path isn't clear how to do that, but we're going to have some conversations. I just really enjoyed talking to her. Very helpful. She also said I should have on my Instagram my URL for my YouTube channel. And I asked my wife how to do that. She clicked on one of my videos. I said, isn't that just a video? That's not going to go right to the YouTube channel, is it? She said, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, oh, well, I sure don't either. Just on a side note, to just prove to you how sad of a techie I am and how I probably don't even deserve to live in the city of Seattle. I couldn't get audio on a Zoom meeting because I called the person and we're trying to set up the Zoom meeting. When we got on Zoom, we're talking to each other. I was like, wow, this is working. This is great. We try to have a third person, my my inspiration, Bellevue Ballers, and we couldn't hear him. Well, we're not hearing you. And we just, for minutes and minutes and minutes, and it's like we hung up the phone finally, and then the audio started working. And it's because we're on the, anyway, it's sad. I'm so low tech. Painful. Like I said, don't tell too many people in Seattle I don't have to get kicked out of here. All right. So Bellevue Ballers, yeah, very good. That's where I met with the person whose personal assistance background. It'd be fun to say. I just don't have the way to do it right now. And then also she knows someone that speaks Arabic, so it's just be fun. I thought it'd be fun to say, what are these guys? Are they commenting? Why do they like my reel? I get these guys in the Middle East. It seems like I'll be, and ministry opportunity is absolutely there, right? If you're doing, I don't know. I would love to get to know these guys if they want to hear what I, rhyming about and rapping about. That's great. That's what blows my mind. I guess, guess they're not. I hope not. One reason I kind of think not is why did it only get 7? They didn't string me along this last week. They really, I don't know. So, merch. put in an order. Yes, I sure as heck did for pink. And so they got the color chart called PMS or Pantone or something. So standardized color numbers that go with the shade of pink in this case. And we chose the one that goes with my birthday, 2/10, February 10. So that's up and running. And I sent the text out for the order on Friday. My order taker's on maternity leave, but I called her and she got my phone call, talked to me, but didn't respond. So I just want to survive tomorrow, but the following day I hope to get with her and just make sure. I was hoping it's gonna be, yeah, there's no way to get it before Christmas, maybe New Year's, right? Hopefully. Anyway, so that's that for the merch. I should ask Mai about putting merch on YouTube. I wonder if she does that. She says she's doing some stuff with Adobe platform and been able to make some money with that. It's nothing I can do, but yeah. She's got the art thing going. Trump's gonna dump. I might be able to. I can't move on because we still got to promote this. But you know what? I finally figured out. Maybe I noticed this before, but didn't click. If it did, it didn't sink in deep. When I go on my YouTube channel, it says that has a copyright on it. And the way I understood it is I got a copyright for the sound, but not the video. That says it has a copyright. Why do I need to go get another one for the video? I'm on YouTube. It says it has a copyright. Whereas the other ones are just public. All my other videos and no copyright to them. So makes me less motivated to go get a whole nother copyright. I've been very unmotivated to do that. So it just caught my attention. To complete songs I made lyrics for on YouTube. So I got a hold of Luke texting wise, and he's moving his recording studio to the peninsula. Oh! So I have someone who can record. I got to get all the people together to do it. And by the time I finally had the idea to use a free instrumental, basically, he's heading to the peninsula. Squim or something, Forks. He's out there somewhere. Oh gosh, that's tough, man. I got my other dude, John. I think I call him John B's out there too. He might be able to record too. So I have to check with him. He was talking about coming out here and doing some recording, I think. But I thought I mentioned to him about going out there. So that is interesting. There was another guy that was out there, and I forget. He was working at 1520, which is now Catholic. No, not 1520, 1590. 1520 is still classic country. Yeah, that guy, he was going to do stuff, and he backed off. I don't know. But I thought he might live out there. He used to. Anyway. So those songs are going to be completed. Well, I had to go back to when I was talking to Jack today. He didn't want the merch. He wanted the music. Okay. Thank you to my big friend. She helps us. She's our biggest customer supporter. So blessed. Ayako. She says her uniform for baking for her. Gosh, what does she call that? She went to Japan and even got some certification for her baking. This is her. She was asked about it by another friend. What's your shirt? She said, that's my uniform. But I guess it's this, right? I feel so blessed. So thankful. All these things, it seems like they're like drops in the bucket, but it's good. It's love is what it is. And so our other friend, Dave, is going to order something, Thank you. All these things you put out, this stuff, we talk on this all the time. It's the planting seeds. You're planting the seeds. I'm limited to how many seeds I can plant. Again, this business is a business of relationships, and relationships take time. That's the challenge. That's where I'm working on it. Now, as I can get certain that I have my bills covered, I can drop my hours in my job from 60 to 50 to 40, you know. If I get down to 40 hours a week, I mean, I think if I'm working 40 hours a week, man, I'll just feel like a new person. I already feel kind of like a new person because it's a kind of a slacker job in some ways, but I still got to be there for the full time. I tend to take breaks, but still, if I only work clean 2 stations, 8 hours a day, and one of the stations is not very demanding at all. So I'm only doing work for say 5 hours, which is enough for cleaning. That's tiring work. You don't want to do too much of that stuff. That's all right, man. I have the rest of the day. That could be very good. But I can still do things with my current schedule. I just have to finagle stuff a lot. It'd be nice not to have to worry about that. So anyway, we could get there soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. That's the update. Current events. I can't say too much except talk to Noah, who helped make my video, and we talked about a lot of things. He's helping me with that. He helped me with video. We talked, he's challenging me to get some information about corn starch and soy and is it non-GMO and whatnot, and some of the product offerings we got. And so it's like, man, I got to raise my game. But, we talk about what's real, what's not, elections and all this. So that's kind of bigger picture stuff. I don't really have much to say about it. It's fun because in the end, when we talk, we're like, man, we're so powerless. One thing, I was talking to a fellow Jim at church, and he lives in Bellevue, and I've done some stuff politically in Issaquah. At least it's like a swing city, which is kind of like a swing state where you feel like you can make a difference because it's more 50-50, when you're in a situation where it's the establishment against the people. And he was saying it wasn't about the votes, Noah, that is, it was about people mobilizing and taking, peaceful protests, things like that, like the truckers up in Canada and things like that, do make a difference, much more so than voting, because voting is just it doesn't get it done, and that's true. Grassroots meeting and getting together and doing things like that are much more they just actions speak louder than words, and in a way a vote is kind of closer to a word, not an action. It is a physical action, but it's not much. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the rhymes. So I was watching Black Steel and the Hour of Chaos, where I was getting this last rhyme from Public Enemy, and that's the song I thought it came from. And let me finish what I think is the end of this verse, and then don't lose it. Okay, so this is such a bad pen. I gotta swap it out. I watched that song 2 times, and I looked up the lyrics. I'm like, man, I swear the lyrics are in that song. I see them on there, but they cut out a verse. It's like 4 verses in that song. They only have 3 in the actual. It doesn't make a distinction on YouTube whether one's a full length or unedited, not unedited, long play version versus radio edit, let's say, or whatever it is. Yeah, they took out a verse, and I caught on to that because the thing I'm seeing here is in the long play version. All right, so I guess it's typical for me to recite it and then start writing again, right? So I better stick with that. See what my time is. Okay, here we go in a few moments. 45. Amateur-ish, yo ish ain't ish. Your dream or wish, we the ish, we elitist, we checking our list. You ain't on it. You ain't a fit. You ain't even fit. Might as well not quit, but keep trying. Not quite. We sighing, seeing This Jeffrey come lately? Why approach me? Why can't he see he amateur-ish? His ish ain't ish. His dream a wish. We the ish. Blister his back. Attack his act. Covertly. Don't hurt me. Just trying to get my grind on. But lately my mind's on. Why these brothers of mine denying fellowship? We on the same ship. Headed the same way. Depends on what your credentials say. No way. Says here, you amateur-ish. Your ish ain't ish. Your dream a wish. We elitist. You so thoughtless. You thought you got this? Got with us? But he don't know. He lacked the flow to be professional. Because we bestow who can go on to the next level. The reasons are several. Most of them, is that 2 minutes? Or was that a minute? Uh-oh. I don't think that could possibly be a minute. Shoot. Anyway, if I can get through this verse and get on to the next song, because I have the next song ready to go. I really want to do that. So, and I have it kind of planned out based on the Public Enemy. The reasons are several. Most of them so loco is what I kept thinking to myself. Which sounds like what? Local, which is the opposite of federal, because that's what he's saying in the song. The reasons are several, most of them federal. Okay. Most of them so loco. Why? Who can go to the next level? The reasons are several. Most of them. Here's what I got to say here, because again, I can flip fluid, not gender fluidity or whatever that is. By the way, I went to I went to open mic at the Bulldog Espresso, and I could talk about this for current events. Yes, well, what are your pronouns? Well, it depends on the day of the week, you see. I mean, there's just too much. It's just that's part of the comedy act here. I heard we're doing some comedy. Is that part of the comedy? All right. So, and by the way, my plan, I could have done a performance there. I went to Little Red Hen. I think I mentioned that. No way. I'm a ways off of that. Everyone's got their little guitars too. I got no guitars, but to the Bulldog Espresso, I can bring a disc and play the instrumental and rhyme over that. And then Tom, I guess, knew the old manager of it. So that's crazy. So much overlap here. So what I want to say, I'm not going to be fluid on this. I'm going to stay with who I've got saying, the elitists, the influencers, the gatekeepers, the decision makers. I'm speaking from their perspective. The reasons are several, most of them so loco. They so crazy. Won't persuade me. They so crazy, won't persuade me to cave, you see. And lower our standards to amateur-ish. And you can see how I'll end that next week when I get back to the rhymes. I got Gabe. I want to have him on here. So we'll talk about that.